Hi guys, Neil here. You've probably realised by now that I've been a little bit absent here on YouTube, also on Strava and some social media platforms. And I want to give a big shout out to Gary there in Vancouver, who reached out to me a few days ago just asking how I was doing because he hadn't noticed any of my runs being uploaded onto Strava. Well, there's been a pretty good reason why I've been a little bit absent here on YouTube. I've had COVID about a week or so ago. Trish and I both developed COVID symptoms on the same day, and for about 4 or 5 days it just knocked the stuffing out of us completely. We couldn't get off the couch, and being in isolation as well and just not feeling like doing anything just meant that everything sort of took a bit of a backseat while we concentrated on trying to make ourselves healthy again. Now, I've spoken to a lot of people who have had COVID, and there's been so many different levels of symptoms to COVID, ranging from just a mild headache right through to full-on flu-like symptoms. And I can tell you what Trish and I have had over the past week was full-on flu-like symptoms. We had the headaches, we had the congestions, we had the cough, we had the aching muscles, the aching joints. It wasn't pleasant at all. But hopefully now we're coming towards the end of our 7-day isolation period. I think we're over the worst of it. But because it has really hit me quite hard, I haven't done any running for the past 7 days, and I probably won't do any for another day or two. Still not feeling like I want to go for a run. I just want to make sure that I'm concentrating on getting healthy before I worry about anything else. Also in the back of my mind too, and I've read a lot on Strava from people who have had COVID, coming back, they have really struggled. Some runners have been able to just ease straight back into it, no problems at all. Others have had trouble with their breathing, elevated heart rate, and just a lack of energy. So I'm just trying to be really careful that I don't come back too quickly, don't do too much too soon. That's why I really want to concentrate on getting healthy first before I even consider any type of running. What does this mean for the sub 3 hour marathon attempt at the Gold Coast? Too early to say at this stage. I want to know how the body's going to react when I have my first run back, how it's going to react having a run on consecutive days and so on. Won't know until that happens whether I can continue with an adjusted marathon program for that July 3 marathon. But like I said, the main thing is just to get healthy. You can probably still hear in my voice that I'm still a little bit congested, but I do feel like the energy levels are back. And yeah, it's just a matter of now getting out of isolation, having that first run, just to see how the body reacts. So really, I just wanted to update you on where I'm at and why I haven't uploaded my last 2 videos. It's just that making these videos was the last thing on my mind over this past week, where it just really felt like utter rubbish. And look, really don't know from here going forward whether these videos will become regular again or whether they will be a little bit spasmodic. I'm really not sure. It's all going to depend on how I feel about running again, and how the body reacts to that. So bear with me guys, I'm still around, but at the moment my health is my number one priority, and running and making these videos is something that hopefully I'll get back to on a more regular basis really soon. I'm still here. I'm still planning to run. I'm still planning to try and run a marathon on July 3 at the Gold Coast. But obviously it all depends on how the body's going to react when I return to running. Now, coming up in this video, as part of that Gold Coast marathon sub 3 hour attempt that I was planning, the series, this video was to be all about how I go about using my recovery run as part of my weekly marathon program. So I was able to film that session before I actually got crook with COVID. So you're going to see that in a little bit. But just wanted to give you a bit of a small intro into why I haven't been here on YouTube recently, and that I am okay. Just been really crook with COVID. I'm coming out the other side now, and yeah, we'll just see where this new branch in the road on this running journey takes me. But hopefully you'll stick around and watch my recovery run session that I did last week before I got crook. And I guess I'll see you next time in another video, whenever that'll be, guys. So hope you're all well, and hope your running is going really well. And please hit me up in the comments and let me know how you're all getting on. So enjoy this little bit of a video coming up now on my recovery run, and I'll see you soon.
Hi guys, my name's Neil, and thanks for joining me for a run. This is the third episode in a series where I'm on a journey to attempt to run a sub 3-hour marathon at the Gold Coast Marathon in 8 weeks time. So each week in this series I'm focusing on a particular session that I do each week. Last week in episode 2 it was the long run. Today I'm going to focus on the recovery run and how I go about recovering after a long run the day before. Everybody's going to have their own interpretation of what they do for recovery days. Some runners like to have a total rest day, do nothing after a long run. Others like to cross train, or if you're like me, I like some active running recovery. My recovery day after a long run is just a very easy pace 15k, and I do like to get here on the grass because you've beaten the body up a little bit the day before in a long run, so it's just nice to give it a little bit of a reprieve, get on some of this nice cushioned grass, and just allows the body to recover from that effort you put in the day before. I place a lot of importance on my recovery runs. In fact, I would say that a recovery run is one of my top 4 sessions of the week in a marathon training block. I just find them so beneficial to flush the legs out, get rid of all that gunk from the day before, whether you've had a long run or whether you've had a race. Just helps to speed up the recovery and sets me up pretty good for the week ahead. I really look forward to these Mondays, and especially when I'm able to get out here on the grass. In the past I have had a tendency to run these recovery runs too fast, so I really am being mindful of slowing down in this marathon training block. At the moment I'm aiming for about 70 to 90 seconds below marathon pace, or I should say above marathon pace, so around that 5:20, 5:40 per kilometre. ideally on these recovery days, you want to be hitting the maintenance a little bit harder as well. That's something I'm trying to get a little bit better at, whether it's stretching, foam rolling, massage, whatever. Just want to try and up it a little bit. Just all helps to recover from that weekend long run or that weekend race. That's all done. Well, that was my recovery run, guys. Hope you enjoyed that little insight into one of the sessions that I do each week.